Do you often find yourself delaying tasks? It's an all too common scenario, isn't it? Moment you're ready to roll up your sleeves and immerse yourself in tasks at hand. Next, you're down the rabbit hole of social media, mindlessly scrolling through feeds. Or perhaps you found yourself in the peculiar predicament of suddenly being fascinated by the life cycle of a fruit fly. Bizarre, right? So why does this happen to the best of us? Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the realm of procrastination. Procrastination isn't simply about being lazy or unproductive. It's a complex of psychological intricacies that goes beyond our surface understanding. It is intricate dance between our emotions, our self-perception, and even our comprehension of the abstract concept of time. It is a behavior deeply ingrained in our psyche, influencing how we approach tasks and manage our time. Procrastination is not just a simple act of laziness. It's a complex psychological behavior that involves our emotions, our perceptions of ourselves, and our understanding of time. So let's unravel this mystery together. Firstly, understand that procrastination is primarily driven by emotions. When we encounter a task that we consider dreary, daunting, or simply unappealing, our instinctive response is to shirk away from it. This is not because we lack the capability to tackle the task, but rather because it triggers an emotional discomfort within us. This emotional distress can arise from various factors such as fear of failure, lack of motivation, or the daunting scale of the task, to name a few. It fills us with dread and makes us want to delay the task as much as possible, leading to procrastination. But it's essential to comprehend that procrastination isn't a time management issue. It won't be resolved by creating detailed schedules or by optimizing your task list. At its core, fighting procrastination is about learning to cope with these unsettling emotions and managing them effectively. It's not about time management, it's about emotion management. Secondly, it's about our self-image, a reflection of how we perceive ourselves. This perception plays a pivotal role in our behavior and actions. Frequently, procrastination emerges as a byproduct of this self-image. It's a complex psychological phenomenon that transcends the realm of mere laziness or lack of motivation. Procrastination is often instigated by an intense fear, a fear that our performance, our work, or even our efforts may not meet the high standards we set for ourselves. This fear is multifaceted. It can be both self-imposed or triggered by the expectations of others around us. We dread the notion of underachieving, of not being good enough. This dread is deeply entwined with our self-image, influencing our behavior and decision-making processes. The standards we set for ourselves can sometimes be unreasonably high, even unrealistic. It's these unrealistic standards, the ever-looming specter of perfection, that can make us hesitate, delay, and ultimately procrastinate. Similarly, the often sky-high expectations that others have for us can generate an immense pressure, adding another layer of complexity procrastination habits. However, at the core of this procrastination behavior is a seed of fear. The fear of failure, of falling short, of not meeting these standards and expectations. This fear is potent, often paralyzing. And it's this fear that holds us back. Thirdly, procrastination is also about our perception of time. This intriguing phenomenon is not as simple as it appears to be on the surface. At its core, it's about how we perceive, understand, and interpret the concept of time. It's deeply rooted in our psychology and is much more nuanced than just delaying tasks. We humans, interestingly, tend to see our future selves as distinct entities, separate from our present selves. This unique perspective of bifurcating our existence into different time zones enables us to effortlessly pass the tasks to our future selves. In essence, we are delegating tasks to a stranger, a person we don't yet know, our future self. This strange behavior might seem fascinating, but it has profound implications. It symbolizes our disconnection from our future selves. This disconnection enables us to conveniently overlook the consequences that our present actions or inactions can have on our future. We detach ourselves from the probable repercussions of our procrastination, creating a false sense of comfort and security. However, it's crucial to understand that this detachment from our future selves and the subsequent passing of tasks is not devoid of consequences. It forms a vicious cycle of delays where we continuously postpone tasks, creating a perpetual loop of postponement. We feel disconnected from the consequences of our delays. Now that we've delved into the psychology of procrastination, how can we overcome it? In order to truly understand this question, we first need to delve deeper into the intricacies of procrastination. It's not merely about pushing tasks off, it's a complex psychological process that often hinges on our emotional state. The first step in combating procrastination is to acknowledge your emotions. This sounds simple, but it's a step many of us overlook. When you're feeling the urge to put off tasks, don't just ignore it. Instead, stop what you're doing and ask yourself, what am I feeling right now? This self-questioning, introspective approach requires honesty. You might find that you're feeling fear. It's fear of failure or fear of not living up to expectations. Perhaps it's anxiety. Anxiety about the task being too difficult or about not having enough time to complete it properly. You might even be feeling boredom, a lack of engagement with the task at hand. Recognizing these emotions is critical. Don't just brush them aside. Instead, let yourself feel them, accept them. This doesn't mean wallowing in them or letting them overwhelm you. It means acknowledging that they're there and understanding that they're a normal part of the human experience. Once you've acknowledged these emotions, the next step is crucial. Don't fight them. This is a common mistake. We often believe that by suppressing our feelings, we can overcome them. But this only leads to more stress and ultimately more procrastination. Instead, allow yourself to feel these emotions, but don't let them control you. You can accept that you're feeling fear, anxiety, or boredom, but you don't have to let these feelings dictate your actions. Recognize that they're present, but don't let them take the wheel. Remember, overcoming procrastination isn't about ignoring your emotions, but about understanding and managing them. It's about taking control, not losing it. It's about making proactive choices rather than reacting to your feelings. And most importantly, it's about acknowledging that while procrastination is a challenge, it's a challenge you can overcome. 2. Break down your tasks. It's simple yet incredibly effective. Large tasks can often induce feelings of stress, anxiety, and fear. They tend to create a mental block, causing you to feel as if you're standing before a mountain that's too high to climb. This daunting sensation can frequently lead to avoidance and procrastination. Instead of being productive and crossing off tasks, you're stuck in a vicious cycle of anxiety and delay. To combat this, one must take a step back and analyze the situation. The key is to dissect these large tasks into smaller, digestible parts. Each segment should be a complete task on its own, but a smaller one that can be accomplished within a short span. By doing so, you significantly reduce the emotional burden associated with the task. It becomes less of a mammoth burden and more of a series of small jobs. This method effectively makes the task less intimidating and more manageable, allowing you to make consistent progress. This reduces the emotional burden and makes the task less intimidating. 3. Visualize your future self. Remember, your future self is not a stranger. The actions you take today will impact you tomorrow. By visualizing your future self, you can develop a sense of responsibility and reduce procrastination. 4. Practice self-compassion. Don't beat yourself up if you slip up. Remember, it's okay to make mistakes. What matters is that you learn from them and move forward. To summarize, procrastination is not a result of laziness, but a complex interplay of emotions, self-image, and time perception. Overcoming procrastination involves acknowledging and managing your emotions, breaking down tasks, visualizing your future self, and practicing self-compassion. Remember, everyone procrastinates, but with understanding and effort, you can take control and become more productive. So the next time you find yourself about to dive into the rabbit hole of procrastination, remember these steps and pull yourself back. After all, the lifespan of a fruit fly can wait, but your tasks cannot.